Do you know that thousands of people start poultry farming every year and half of them quit within the first 2 cycles? Not because poultry farming is not profitable, but it's because they started poultry farming the wrong way. In this video today, I'm going to show you step by step how to start a profitable broiler farming in 2026, even if you are starting small and with limited capital. And make sure you watch till the end, because I'll be showing you how I cut down cost on feed and how I maximize profit. And I have my notes here that I've jotted down, my points that I've listed. I'll be reading from here so that I'll not leave anything out. So just watch till the end. And a quick favor, if you're serious about making money from broiler farming, then hit that subscription button, because I share real farm experience on this channel. So let's dive right in. I'll be reading from my points here, okay, so that I will not miss out anything. Okay, so before we get to the first point, let me introduce myself quickly. I am Oche from Broiler Farms. I am a profitable broiler farmer in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, but I work here in the Middle East. I've been able to run my farm in Nigeria because I've put systems in place that has been helping me, and I've been doing that for over 3 years now. Okay, so if you still want to know the system that I've put in place and you want to know how you can run your farm without being present on the farm, then don't forget to stick to this channel and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. I'll get back to you immediately on the things I do to be able to run my farm even when I am not there. So now let's get to the matter of today, and let's go to the points one after the other. So the first point here is mindset and business plan. Mindset and business plan. I combined those 2 points together. Before you start a business, you must come with a mindset of a business person. Before you start a broiler farming is a business. So as you are entering broiler farming, you need to come with the mindset of a business. Okay, so it is a business that you want to run. Have that in your mind first of all. Don't look at it as maybe it's a hobby. If it's a hobby, you can just get like 2 or 3 and leave them to work in your compound or get a small cage for them. But if you want to use it as a business, then you need to start with that mindset that it is a business. So that is the first point I'm trying to let you guys understand. You should approach it with a mindset of a business. Okay, so before you start, you need to ask yourself, who will buy my beds? Who are you selling your beds to? Because we have different types of customers out there. You can sell to wholesalers, you can sell to frozen chicken shops, you can sell to ordinary consumers, that is the people in your neighborhood that wants to consume them directly, right? Then you also look at what age do you want to sell. Okay, like in Nigeria, I've had a lot of experience where people tell me my chicks are too young for them to buy, because normally I sell mine between 6 and 8 weeks, but people prefer birds of like 3 months. So it depends on the market you want to go into. Okay, because I've had a tough experience with that, I've decided to start processing my birds, because most people that comes to buy live, especially people in your neighborhood, they will want to get the old birds. And one thing I always try to tell them is if I keep this bed for 3 months, I don't think you guys will be able to pay for it. That is what they don't understand. So you need to know the age you plan to sell your beds. Okay, then you also need to know, will you be selling live beds or will you be selling processed beds? I used to sell both. I sell both live beds and I sell processed beds. I have a freezer I process and keep, and some of these are wholesalers. In Nigeria, we call them aboki. They come to buy from me. Then some other set of wholesalers that sells to company. Those ones, they buy in a very large quantity. They can come and get 300 beds at once. Okay, you process them, you process the beds for them, they weigh them and they pay you immediately. Okay, so you have to choose the kind of customers you want to sell to. Okay, then one thing I've discovered now is a lot of people are using social media to sell their beds. This has been very, very effective. I have used it a lot. Most of my customers, they came to me through social media posts. Okay, you know, Facebook, they don't allow ads when it comes to meat, like chicken meat, goat meat and stuff like that. So you need to be careful when you are sending out ads on Facebook. Okay, but you can contact your friends on Facebook. You can put it on your own post, not as an ad. Okay, you put it on your own post, your friends, they will tell their friends and like that, and the information will get going. So it has helped me a lot when it comes to sales of birds. So you need to know how to sell your birds in 2026. It's not like in those days where you walk around the street telling people I have bird, you have bird. How many people can you reach doing that? It is very difficult. Okay, now I have a course. It is called Freedom Broiler Farming Course. In that course I also explain how to sell your birds using social media and other means like that. So there is a link in the description to that course, so you can go and click that link and get the course. Okay, now the second point I'll be looking here is housing. Your housing should be low cost and it should be efficient. Your housing should be low cost and it should be efficient. Now you are starting small. Normally my training on this channel is for people that are starting small, because I started small. Even now I can boast of 1,000, 1,005, sometimes 1,007 per batch on my farm right now. Okay, but I started small. I started with 100 birds. Okay, so this channel is mainly for people that are starting small. Okay, so you don't need expensive house. Okay, you can just get 2x2. Get a good carpenter. They can use 2x2 to erect structures for you, roof it, and they will use wire mesh to make a good cage for you, where you can have a very good ventilation. Okay, because when you are building your poultry house, what you should consider is ventilation, and should be cost efficient. The cost of building the house, and it should not affect the ventilation. Okay, so these are the key things you need to note. Ventilation, then the floor should be dry. So no matter how it is, make sure you lift the floor above ground level. Okay, so that when it rains, the floor cannot get wet. Okay, so dry floor is very important. If it is deep litter, you use wood shavings. Okay, then the house should be in such a way that it can protect your birds from heat, and it can also protect your bird from cold. Then proper spacing should be observed. So you build your house in such a way that you can space your bird very, very well. It is very important, especially when you are starting small. If it's an environmental controlled houses, that is the automatic one, you can put more birds inside. But if it's a deep litter system, you need to control the crowd. Okay, it is very, very important. Then when it comes to ventilation, I've stressed that a lot of time. It is very important because heat stress is a silent killer of birds. You can just see that your birds will just be falling down and dying, and you will not even know the cause. You'll be running up and down getting medication, not knowing that it's because of the heat that is affecting them. Okay, so you should be very careful with ventilation. Okay, so the third point is the quality of your chick. So buy quality day-old chick. Very, very important. Buy quality day-old chick. So what you should look for is your chicks should be active, they should have bright eyes, and there should be no deformity. Okay, so bad chick is equals to poor growth, and is equals to high mortality, which eventually equals to losses. So get quality day-old chick. Okay, now if you want, if you are in Port Harcourt or if you are in Nigeria and you want to get your day-old chick from where I get my day-old chick, there is a link in the description below for getting your day-old chicks. Okay, so you can click on that link. You can use my supplier. These guys are very good. My pack are sealed, and they give me an assurance that if the seal is tampered with, I should let them know, and they are going to change or refund my money back to me. These guys are good. I've been using them for the past 3 years now. Okay, so you can see, you can check them out using the link in the description. Okay, so the fourth point I'll be telling you is feed strategy. This is the most important factor when it comes to profitability in your poultry farm. Okay, especially in your broiler farm. People just feed their bird like that. These feed that are expensive, you buy them and you keep feeding your bird like that. You don't know the efficiency of the feed. You don't know anything about the feed. You just buy and just keep feeding like that. Okay, there are feeds that have good quality, okay, that even a small quantity will have a good effect on their body. That is why you need to check your feed efficiency using your feed conversion ratio. Okay, everything about feed conversion ratio is in my course. Okay, my Freedom Broiler Farming Course. So if you want to know more about feed conversion ratio, you check that course. Okay, you go to the link in the description and get that course. You don't just keep feeding your birds like that. If your feed is not effective, you should know immediately, and if it is effective, you should know immediately. Okay, and there is this idea among farmers that giving your birds food day in, day out, morning, night, you keep feeding them, no time to rest, no time to sleep. People think it's better, but modern farming has shown that it has not helped in any way. It is wastage of feed, and it is also reducing the immunity of the birds because they need to rest, and there need to be some period where they should not eat and just stay and rest. They should sleep in the night, they should rest during hot weather and stuff like that. So all these are very well explained in my course, so try to get that course. So there are two ways you can cut on your feed: getting commercial feed, which is expensive, okay, but if you know how to manage your commercial feed, you can also increase your profit with that. All right, then the second way is formulating your own feed, which I do a lot on my farm. I formulate my own feed, and I have a formula. I have some videos on this channel that will teach you how to formulate your own feed with whatever material you have available to you. Don't think you have a generic material, a particular type of raw material that you need to use to manufacture feed. You just look for that video. I think I'll leave a link to that video somewhere here. You'll get that video. Any material you have at all available to you, as long as it is materials that people are eating and animals can eat, you can use it to formulate your own feed. Okay, and I will show you, and I explain how to do it in that video. And in my course also, it is further explained, broken down very well, so that you can understand. So you can as well get that course too. So formulation of feed is one other way of cutting down your cost of production. When it comes to feeding, you should try to source for local available ingredients that are cheap. Okay, try to avoid feed wastage, right? Then you should use the correct feed at different stages. You should know that the starter is for the beginner stage, the grower is for the mid stage, and the finisher is for the final stage. So follow these stages. Okay, don't just buy feed and give them anyhow. Buy feed according to their stages in growth. Okay, then always try to feed efficiently. Calculate your feed conversion ratio so that you know how efficient your feed is, right? So we go to the fifth point. The fifth point is water and hygiene. Water is the life of broilers. Sometimes my birds, they drink close to 200 liters in a day. You can imagine birds drinking up to 200 liters in a day. Okay, so water is very important. Those things, they can be very dehydrated. They drink water a lot. Okay, so provide clean water for them. Okay, if you're in a place where your water is taken from maybe a well or a river, please don't just give them like that. Okay, because there might be pathogens in the well, there might be bacteria in the water. So just try as much as possible to treat the water. You can use chlorine treatment and other means of treating your water. But if you are using borehole, I think borehole is relatively safe. Okay, so like I use borehole on my farm, so I give them directly. Even my workers, they drink it too, because the people that came to make the borehole for me, they tasted the water, and the water is okay for consumption. Okay, so make sure you provide fresh water every time. I will not say every day, it's every time. Anytime you go around, if you are using these manual drinkers and you see that there are liters inside the drinkers, you need to check them immediately and give them a fresh water. And if the weather is hot, you should monitor the water. Every afternoon you check. If the water is getting warm, you change it and give them a fresh, colder water. Okay, then you wash your drinker every day. Then you can add multivitamins and electrolytes in the water when needed. Like when the weather is hot, I put oral rehydration therapy inside my bird's water. I've made a video concerning that before, in the video of managing heat stress. So maybe I'll leave a link to that video here, or you can search for it on my channel, managing heat stress. Okay, then the sixth step is disease prevention. Many farmers wait until their bird gets sick. They don't give them any preventive drugs. They just allow them grow like that, and they'll be monitoring them to see when they are sick before they start treating them. If they are sick, if you see symptoms on your bed, it means the sickness is already worse. So the earlier you prevent it, the better. Okay, anytime you start seeing your bird fall sick, that means the sickness has already eaten deep into their system, and that is why they are falling sick. So the best way is to prevent them. So you should have a vaccination schedule and medication schedule that you follow. Whether the birds are sick or not, just follow the medication plan and the vaccination plan you have. And if you need a good vaccination plan and medication plan, I'll leave that in the link in the description below. So there are a lot of things in my description, so don't forget to go to my descriptions. Okay, all right. So, and biosecurity, very, very important. Clean environment. Okay, so biosecurity is very, very important. Avoid visitors coming to your farm. Avoid going into your farm with dirty clothing, dirty footwear and stuff like that. Okay, I'll leave my farm procedure, the procedure I use on my farm, the work instruction and the procedure I use on my farm. I'll leave it in a link in the description below, so just go there to get it. And for my my old subscribers, those that have been following me, it has been edited. I have revised it several times, so I'll leave the new one for you guys, so go there and get them. Okay, all right. Then stocking and management. This is very important. Okay, I discussed this briefly when I was talking about the housing. So stocking is very important. Don't overcrowd your beds. If you overcrowd your beds, this is what will happen. Some will be big and some will be small. That is the problem with overcrowding. They will not have uniform growth. You have some birds will be big because they eat much, they eat more than the others, and you see some very small because the space is too small for them. So the bigger birds will overshadow the smaller ones because they are, in the animal world, is survival of the fittest. So the fittest will eat more food, while the weaker ones will not be able to eat, and they will continue being weak, right? So you try to space them. Okay, so try to avoid overcrowding. Then it also reduces stress. If they are crowded, there is a lot of stress, and if there is any disease, it's going to spread very, very wide. So that is why you need to give appropriate spacing. Then you need to observe your birds daily. If you see any weak bird, you remove them immediately. I have a sick bay, so if you are starting your farm small, you should have a very small cage that you can use as a sick bay. Okay, I have a sick bay on my farm, so that is very, very important. So when you observe your bird every time, if there is anything wrong, you will know immediately. One thing I tell my workers, broiler is a business that they are okay. Let me say, broilers are animals that if anything happens to them, they will tell you immediately. Once you see it, they will tell you. There are not birds that will keep diseases in their body for a long time before it will now show when it's too late. If there is anything affecting your broiler, you will see it immediately. If the weather is too hot, you will see it immediately. If the weather is too cold, you will see it immediately. If they are not eating well, you will see it immediately. And even if they are overeating, you will see it immediately. That is where they start dropping. They call it sudden death syndrome. Excess food, also not good for broilers. Okay, so that is how broilers is. So watch out for those signs. Then the point 8, which is the most important point, because I told you earlier, it is a business. Broiler farming is a business, and if you don't sell, then there is no business. No matter how good your system is, no matter how good your workers is, no matter how good you raise your bird, you can buy 1,000 bird and all the 1,000 birds survives, but if you cannot sell them, then there is no business, right? So this last point is marketing and sales. This is where the profit is made. Okay, and this is where most farmers fail. Now there is a danger when it comes to broiler business. When you plan to sell your birds for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, well, whichever age you want to sell your bird, you must have calculated your feed, you must have calculated your expenses up to that 6 weeks or up to that 7 weeks or up to 8 weeks. Now if your birds are staying on the farm more than the calculated time, then you are using your profits now to feed your bird. That is just what it is. The money you are supposed to put in your pocket as profit, you have started using them to feed your bird. That is the danger about broiler farm. So you try as much as possible to start to sell your birds immediately immediately they hit the target age that you want. So how do you do this? Is for you to start selling your birds immediately you have the idea of starting a broiler farm. That is when you start selling your bird. Not until your birds are grown, not until your birds are a week to the age you want. You start selling them. When you start making plans for your birds, to bring your birds, start telling people, I want to start a broiler business and it will be ready in 8 weeks time. I want to start a broiler business, it will be ready in so and so time. Start using social media, start posting. Even when you are constructing your house, you can start posting so that people will be aware that you are going into a broiler business. When you bring in your day-old chick, you start posting their videos, start posting their pictures and stuff like that. As they progress, you start posting to customers, you get to all these aboki. But the problem with the aboki is they don't have phones. Most of them use they don't have camera phone, so they use the normal phone. So those ones you still have to go to the market yourself to tell them I am having birds and they'll be ready in this time. Okay, so you try to market. This is where people struggle. Raising the birds, I've discovered that raising healthy birds is no longer an issue to most small broiler businesses. The issue is selling their birds because the competition is just too much. Now in Nigeria, because of the economic situation, people are even raising broilers in their backyard. People are raising broilers everywhere. So the market is usually flooded with broilers, right? So you need to strategize for you to be able to sell. Okay, so that is where your innovation comes in. That is your sales innovation. That is when it comes in. So you can do social media posts, you can do door to door, tell your friends, tell your families, and be consistent with it. Okay, if not, when that time comes, you'll find out that you'll be struggling to get customers and they will not come. I've experienced that several times before I learned my lesson. Okay, then in order to save you from feeding your birds when they've reached the target age and spending your profit, okay, you can as well process them and refrigerate them. There are cold rooms around that you can pay, okay, and put your birds inside. You pay them, okay. Like before I started doing large processing, I bought a small deep freezer for that particular purpose. Okay, then when I started, my birds were not many, 100 like that. So you can process like 20 today, you put inside. If people don't come to buy, you process 20 another day, you put inside. You don't just process all the 100 and put inside the deep freezer. You know, it's a deep freezer, it's not a blast freezer. It's not going to get cold on time and the meat is going to spoil. So maybe you can put 10, 15 like that. You allow those ones to get cold and frozen. Then after another time, you put another 10, 20 on top. You allow it to get frozen like that. Okay, so with that, now you are going to have frozen chicken in your refrigerator. And with that, if you have electricity, I think it's cheap. Okay, but Nigeria will have problem with electricity. But even if you're running the gen, it's still the same gen you're using in your house, because the refrigerator was in my house, not on the farm. So everything was still easy for me. People come to the house to buy like that. So you can start small like that. Before you start supplying to people in hundreds, you start small. Okay, right. Then always try to maintain customers. Anybody that has come to buy from you before, make sure you maintain that person, because getting a new customer to come and buy your broilers is very, very difficult. So anybody that comes to buy one bird from you, try as much as possible to make that person happy. Make him come back. Okay, make that person come back to always buy from you. If you allow that person go, to get another person is difficult too. All right, so you try to control your customers and try to make them happy. Okay, now another final point I will tell you guys here is cost control and profit maximization. Cost control and profit maximization. And where does this and what does this mean? Always track everything you are doing from the beginning till the sales. Okay, Now what you do is, before you bring your birds to the farm, get a paper, know the price of your day old chick, know the number of bags of feed that you need for them to reach the particular age you want them to grow to. Okay, then other things like your heater, your liters and stuff like that, put everything inside the cost so that you know your actual cost of production. Okay, now if you don't control this cost, after selling you will not know whether you are making profit or you are losing. So you need to control all this cost, and I have a template for that which I use on my farm. I made it easy for my workers to be able to control. So you can get that template in the description, in a link in the description. You'll see the link. I'll create a link for that in the description. Or you can also go through you can also go to the course, my course. Okay, the course also has a section where I discuss how to track your cost, right, so that you maximize your profit. So you know your feed cost, you know your mortality, you know your growth rate. Okay, then you know you try to prevent wastage of food, you try to get your things in bulk. Because of transportation, you don't just go and buy two bags of feed today, after like 3 days go and get another 2 bags. You're wasting money on transportation. So you should know your cost from beginning, and you get all these things at once to avoid transportation cost. Okay, so I believe with that you'll be able to start a good profitable broiler business. Okay, now broiler farming can change your life, I tell you. It has helped me a lot. Even though I'm working here in the Middle East, I know how much I've made from my farm, okay, in Nigeria. Okay, so it can change your life only if you treat it like a business, okay, and you avoid common mistakes. So start small, you learn fast, then you scale up smartly. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video, share this video to someone that will need it, someone that want to start a broiler business in 2026. Okay, now don't forget, I have a lot of free things for you in the description of this video. There are a lot of links there. My course link, Freedom Broiler Farming Course is in the link, my procedure, the chart I use on my farm, and other things. And don't forget, anything you want at all for me to explain to you, leave it in the comment section and I will explain to you. Okay, so this is Oche from Broiler Farms. Peace. I'm out.